Hello, Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of ours. You guys are the way. So, internet is reacting to the fact that 2 years old, little ones, underage people are getting deported for no just cause. These people are actually US citizens. And also, one of them who happens to be a cancer patient, they don't care about the cancer patient, or they just want you, it's just for you to get out. And the fact is that they are actually US citizens. I'm not going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes.
The Trump administration deported a 2-year-old U.S. citizen in what the judge said with no meaningful process. The judge who's asking for answers about how and why this happened. A U.S. citizen, 2 years old, deported to Honduras. Now you may see that and think, all right, the child's parents were both deported. So of course they sent the child with the parents and that's how this happened. No, the father is here. The 2-year-old's father is in America, lives in America, not being deported, trying to keep the child here, and the child was sent with the mother back to Honduras. Anyway, the father has been attempting to contact the girl's mother to discuss plans for their child, but ICE officials denied him the chance to have a substantive phone call. He says ICE allowed the two to speak for about 1 minute on Tuesday while the mother was in ICE custody, but that they were unable to make any meaningful decision about the child. And they're claiming that there's a letter written in Spanish that was by the mother expressing that she wanted the child to go with her, but no one's been able to confirm that. Like, the judge is like, let me talk to the mother. Trump administration said, you can't. She's already gone. She's on a plane. Can't talk to her. And then when they got there, you can't talk to her now. She's off in Honduras somewhere. We don't know where she is. Her and this U.S. citizen that we put on a plane and sent out of the country. Oh, just in case anyone out there is like, oh, it's these liberal judges, they just don't like Trump because of, Doherty, that's the judge in this case. Sharp criticism of the Trump administration is particularly notable because he issued a series of major decisions in favor of Trump and his allies in recent years. He's a Trump guy. And even he has to be like, this is not right. But as if that wasn't bad enough, how about this? Immigrant children, even toddlers, often have to represent themselves in immigration court.
Are you a little nervous this morning? See? Do you understand what these proceedings here in court are all about? You know what a lawyer is?
The reason we're here is because the government of the United States wants you to leave the United States. The judge told a group of about a dozen children during a virtual hearing, it's my job to figure out if you have to leave. The judge says that the number of unaccompanied children in her court without a lawyer has gone from 30% to 60%. In the U.S. immigration court system, individuals, including unaccompanied migrant children, do not have a right to a government-appointed counsel. While they're entitled to hire an attorney at their own expense, there's no provision for free legal representation, even for minors. But guess what? The U.S. has an attorney there. There's an attorney representing the United States interest, but children have to do that alone. Just a reminder, if you go to the link in my bio, this petition is there. And you can sign this to hopefully get some members of Congress to wake the fuck up and do something about what's going on.
How the fuck you gonna deport me out of the country I was born in? How are you going to deport me out of a country I was born in? Somebody answer that for me. Before you do that, make sure you Google what the fuck deportation means and then come back and answer that for me. There was a mother and her 2 daughters, one including a 2-year-old, who was deported by the Trump administration in New Orleans. Of course, a judge ruled that he couldn't have done that. I don't understand, like, how he was allowed to do that in the first place. First of all, where are you going to deport them back to if they're from here. Trump Trump know what the fuck he doing. He's trying to deport, like, bitch, he's trying to make the U.S. whites only. That's what he's trying to do, bitch. Let him have it his way. The bitch gonna deport everybody who ain't white. Oh, this too much, girl. This too much. What? This too much.
Today I'm announcing the task force on anti-Christian bias. What's anti-Christian bias? Asking that question is anti-Christian bias. So a member of your administration literally took the Pope to his grave, but you're claiming everybody else in America has anti-Christian bias? How is that possible? We can define what anti-Christian bias is because we took out the Pope. And since we took out the Pope, now we're in charge and nobody can oppose us. Okay, so who's doing anti-Christian bias and what are you going to do to combat it? I can't tell you what we're going to do as we snatch people up off the street for not letting Christians do whatever they want to do. Explaining and giving details is anti-Christian bias. This kind of sounds like you're forcing a religion on people. This doesn't really sound like what Jesus would want to do. It doesn't matter what Jesus would have wanted. You saw we sent him up to glory too on a cross. So anti-Christian bias is questioning any of this, and if you're anti-Christian, then that's anti-American.
I saw the news that 4 U.S. children, citizens born here, were deported from this country. First off, let's get this straight. This terminology, deported, that implies due process. None of them got that. Not a single child that was taken out of this country got due process. So no, they weren't deported. My good friend Sadia said it best. They were kidnapped. They were kidnapped and taken from their families, their guardians, and being shipped out after being told, we don't want you here. Who's this we? You don't want them here. They're citizens. They have a right to be here. But I had to hear from these right-winged, big names, political influencers talking about how this is an overcorrection. Like Joe Rogan said that on an episode, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's an overcorrection, which implies he's okay with this. He just wants it to be done the right way. First off, let's just say it was done the right way. How does that help you? This idea that more money will be in your pockets if more people leave. How? If more people leave, more jobs will be open. Who's going to do those jobs? I'm not going to do them. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Your children will. Look at what's happening in Florida. All those jobs left open in Florida, they're going to force their own kids to do them. They're going to roll back child labor laws and force their children to take up the jobs they don't want. They go out of their way to protect the fetus. Then when they're here, they do nothing to protect the kids. This is not the party of pro-life. This is a party of anti-life. This is not okay. Nobody should be okay with this. Nobody. Right, left, red, blue. This should be an absolute no-no for everybody with a soul. And it's very apparent to me that this crime regime, not an administration, a crime regime, has no soul whatsoever. You're not crazy.
So in the case of the 2-year-old that was deported by the awful administration that we have, I'm trying to be better with my words, gets even worse. The father and the mother had granted custody of the U.S. citizen child to the U.S. citizen aunt and requested several times over and over for ICE to release the child and give it to the person who had custody, who's a fucking U.S. citizen. And they didn't do it because they did not care. They ignored over and over the request that this person was making. And before some red hatter says something stupid, yes, they were speaking English. Now, tell me again how this is about law and order. If every time they want to do something, they just walk over the laws and they don't give a fuck. And then the red hats come around and start making excuses for them, like they did in my comments. Like, well, if you don't come to this country, it's like, shut up, man. Like, the amount of stupidity that they say to just cover up for these people is incredible. And it's okay. Keep doing that. Because one day, when history remembers this time, those people are going to have to answer to their children and to their grandchildren What the fuck did they do when this kind of stuff was going on? I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
Breaking news. Trump just deported 3 U.S. citizens out of Louisiana, with one being a 4-year-old girl with stage 4 cancer who was deported with her mother without medication or the ability to contact their respective doctors. Now, according to one of the family's lawyers, both families was taken into custody while attending routine check-ins in New Orleans as part of the intensive supervision appearance program, which allows individuals to remain in their respective communities while undergoing immigration proceedings. The families have since then been moved to Alexandria, 3 hours from New Orleans, where they won't be able to communicate with their respective families. Instead, they will be on a flight to Honduras. And according to sources, ICE is refusing to allow women to communicate with their children if they aren't the ones being deported.
Imagine you have a child fighting cancer, and instead of getting help, the government secretly deports them without warning, without medicine, and without a chance to fight back. Well, that's exactly what just happened in New Orleans. ICE deported 2 families overnight, including 3 U.S. citizen children, a pregnant mother, and a child battling cancer. They blocked them from the lawyers, they cut off phone calls, and they deported them when the courts were closed so that no judge could intervene. And this wasn't just immoral, it was illegal. ICE broke its own rules. They denied basic due process which is guaranteed by the Constitution to every person, citizen, and non-citizen in the United States. And they stripped away their rights like they meant nothing. This is what dictatorship looks like. When government agencies can break apart families in secret with no legal checks, no accountability, no consequences, and violate your rights, this is authoritarianism in action. If we don't stand up to it, it's only going to get worse. And if they can do it to children and a pregnant mother and a child with cancer, they can sure as hell do it to anyone.
We now have an American child that's been trafficked across international borders in the name of mass deportation by our government. We all warned you this would happen. You didn't believe us, and here we are. There was a 2-year-old American child that was deported to Honduras with her Honduran mother. Here's the problem. They did so not only to an American citizen, but also without the permission of the child's father. The child's father wanted the child to stay in the United States. However, ICE did not allow for meaningful communication between the 2 parents to figure out where the child would go. In doing so, the United States has broken Honduran law because while the United States does not have exit controls on children traveling with only one parent, Honduran law states that if a child is traveling with only one custodial parent or by themselves, they must have written notarized permission from the non-traveling parent in order to enter the country.
You know, one would think that when a president starts disappearing people with no due process, and it gets to the extent that they're deporting small children who were born in this country, that people would start thinking, oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. Right? Right? But they don't. There are so many people out there who continue to believe that this is just acceptable. On top of that, the Trump administration is trying to strip journalists from protections they have had for a long time, and even more reinforced protections from the Biden era, saying that they do not have to reveal their sources. The Trump administration is now saying, no, you do. What's interesting to me about this is that their side, the right, spouts so much bullshit and lies that if they are compelled to reveal their sources, wow, it's going to be quite the lawsuit again, like their media platforms haven't been sued repeatedly for spreading misinformation, disinformation, and lies. But because they're so short-sighted and they think that they're going to just reign in power forever, they don't think this is ever going to come back on them. They don't think that, we are going to say, all right, you said you can't conceal your sources, so give them up. What are your sources? And then when they can't produce valid sources, they're going to get sued into oblivion. And now they're arresting judges. Did you see this? They arrested a judge who simply sent a case to the Chief Justice in Wisconsin to be reviewed when it comes to A person in immigration court that was in her courtroom, when ICE came in, said that they had a warrant. They had no warrant signed by a judge. It was an administrative warrant. That's not legal to deport somebody and take them into custody. And these emboldened Trump ICE agents decided, no, it was still okay to walk into this judge's courtroom and say, we're taking this guy. And the judge said, no, we're going to refer this to the chief judge here. And now they arrested her for aiding and abetting this person who is here doing all they need to do in immigration court. It is insane to me what's happening in this country, and it makes me sick on a daily basis. So, if you've been wondering what I've been doing, I'm diving face first into fantasy. I'm reading Throne of Glass right now. That's why I've been absent a lot, because I need to take a step back. And reading about a badass queen assassin who's trying to take out an evil king, yeah, that seems right, especially when she's winning. Because at this point, I am just screaming, Democrats, come on. I know you're trying. I know you're taking steps. But at what point do you stop thinking that you have to pander to anyone except your base, and even further to the left, even more progressive? Because in this country, the far left, the radical left, is what other countries consider middle of the road, if not right. Because, I mean, the Democrats right now, people like fucking Fetterman, that's a far rightist. He shouldn't be holding any seat as a Democrat. I am not checking out. I am still here. But I need my own reprieves. I need my own escapes. I think we all do. Because this is real. This is reality. We are in the deepest shit show because of this administration. We have to continue to fight and pay attention. We have to continue to call our lawmakers. And we have to continue to maintain our sanity in a world that is fucking crumbling. Every day I wake up thinking, what the fuck? They said this, they did this, they didn't do this, they stopped this, they deported which people, who, what? Every damn day. Meanwhile, the Democrats are taking such a step back when it comes to immigration because they think that's not going to be a popular topic. Due process is bad. Human rights are bad, right? It's bad for your politics. It's bad for your seat. I just could not feel more completely lost in this current political system. I don't know where to go anymore. The Democrats are the only option right now, but they need to swing so far left, so far out of their comfort zone, clearly. And the only brave ones out there are people like Chris Murphy, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Jasmine Crockett. And I need to see more of that because right now, you guys are sorely disappointing us.
Like, seriously, lovelies, the point is that there are so many people, especially these blind MAGA supporters, who actually thought that Orange Man is just going to, or his administration is actually going to deport the undocumented immigrants. These underaged people were actually born in the States, right? They were born in the state. They are underaged. Some or one of them who is actually a patient still receiving treatment. Like, oh my God. Like, even if you're so angry, okay, you don't want anything like birthright citizenship or what have you. But what about this patient that is on treatment? Like, sometimes I was like, is it that people do not have any form of compassion anymore? People do not care about people's feelings anymore. There is a teenager. Oh, okay. It's not even a teenager anymore. There is a child, right? Who does not know what is going on in this planet Earth. Who don't even understand what they want is just to get well and become a child. But they have to face this deportation thing. These people are even baited here, right? Like in the state. But they are all getting deported. So that means deportation has nothing to do with undocumented. That means even when you are documented or even undocumented, or even a citizen, you are at the verge of getting deported. They don't care anymore. What they want to do is to do whatsoever they feel. The worst part is that the process of the deportation, how they deported those little ones, being the fact that they did that knowing fully well that there is no judge on seat to actually defend these people. They did it unaware. Like, what is this? There is a video I posted here. It was actually one stitch, because I try as much as I can to look for other stitches where a colored woman was complaining that the way at which they treat these minors in the IC centers or in deportation centers is just something that nobody should witness. There was this video going viral showing IC centers, and how these people are being treated, and how these little ones who was separated from their friends and families were being treated and in the cold, all laying down on the floor. Like, I keep asking myself, these people who actually, witness all of those incidents happening to these minors, how did they feel? Knowing fully well that as a staff who works in that kind of place, I have little ones at home waiting for me when I close from work. So how am I even going to stand those little ones? How? Then I was just having that thought. Then someone who probably works on that center, one of those centers where they have these minors being treated in sort of ways, he was like, he couldn't stand it, that he has to quit, that he couldn't stand it, that he has children. It actually takes someone who does not have compassion, who does not have child, who does not know what it means to raise toddlers, what it means to be parents, what it means to have love and compassion in their heart, to treat minors the way at which these people have been treated. Like, who gave birth to people like that? I don't have an issue when you treat adults any way you want. This person is an adult. This person can look for a way to, like, but minors, they are so innocent. They are so innocent. What about the one that is receiving the treatment? They don't, like, this person who is maybe a cancer is trying to have a chance in life, but the society is not even giving you that chance in life. Like, not only is she battling cancer, she's also going to battle deportation. Like, it's so cruel, as if the world rejects her even when she's not here anymore, or even when, she's trying to be, like, I don't even know how to express myself anymore, because this is heartbreaking. I just feel sorry for these innocent people who does not even have a hand in what is going on. I might blame the parents all I want, but what happened to these innocent ones whom is even a citizen who was better in this? Like, are you serious right now? This is just getting tougher, and I hope that the people who actually thought that this was all cool is seeing everything that is happening. I hope so. Anyway, lovely listener, just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovely listener, when I upload the next one. Why not just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video? And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, like, and I will see you, lovely, when I upload the next one.